Hey YouTube, how is it going this Monday? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I have a bunch of nice looking tradable charts that I want to show you. Now, if you're new to my channel, I have been trading and investing for over 20 years, and in each video I will show you trades that I see setting up right now. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future trading and investing ideas. And also, if you would like to support the channel and become part of our Patreon community and see what we are buying and selling in real time for a measly $10 a month, that link is in the description. All right, I got some decent looking charts to show you today, and the first one I want to start off with is WORX Corporation, WORX. Normally I don't want to bring up stocks that are this far extended, but this thing is still rather strong, so I'm thinking, you know, the uptrend might not be over just yet. Just you got to realize when you're buying a stock that is this far extended, you're really playing with fire. You got to be a little quick on your feet, because if you buy stocks that are looking like this, over time you are definitely going to go broke, because you are much closer to a top than to a bottom. And you just have to be careful, because they can roll over just as fast as they start going up. But there's still a lot of strength in this one. And in fact, let's and you can see all the volume that is still pouring into this stock. So that's telling me there could be some more room left to the upside, especially the way that it's finishing out the day. There is still some time left in the trading day, so it could end up rolling over. If it does do that, then disregard everything that I'm saying right now. But let's go to the 15-minute chart, and I'll show you a little bit more what I'm talking about. As we can see, after the big move up, it sold off, but has been getting bought up ever since. And it actually made a new daily high just a few minutes ago, even though it's pulling back right now. But, you know, if you back out this chart, you can definitely see that the velocity of this trend is really starting to go parabolic, and you have to be careful. Now, with that being said, if you look at this formation right here, and if we back out the chart a little bit, it looks a lot like this formation right here. So this thing could have some more upside left in it. You just got to be careful, because like I said, these things can come down just as fast. But WORX certainly looks like it is still under accumulation when you look at that 15-minute chart. Okay, let's go back to the daily chart. And then let's jump to the next one, and that is going to be Air Test Systems. I've talked about this one several times on the channel before. In fact, let me get this stuff out of here real quick so we can see it a little bit better. This one took off from under $3 a share to up over $8.50 a share, but then came crashing down. But the interesting part is it found a floor like immediately right around just a little under $5.50 a share, and it just looks like anytime it gets close to this area, somebody or somebodies are accumulating the heck out of it, and now it looks like it is finally breaking out. And if we go to this 15-minute chart, take a look a little closer. This thing came crashing down, but it made a beautiful bottom, and now it is breaking above it. If we move this little box up here, let me see if I can move it around a little bit here. But if we put this box on this resistance area, you can see it finally broke above it, and it is holding it. So this is exactly what you want to look for when you are thinking about buying a stock that has been pulling back. Wait for it to prove that it has made a bottom. Look for a well-defined resistance area, and then wait for the breakout, because if this thing does end up going on its next move up, right here you are at the safest point of the trade, because if it ends up taking off and continuing higher, you're probably going to capture a lot of that move. But if it does roll over and ends up being a fake out, you can take your small loss once it breaks down below this support area and just move on to the next trade. So that's how you get the odds in your favor when you're making these little swing trades. Just look for these well-defined bottoms, a break of a clearly defined resistance area. And if it happens to fall back into it, hey, it happens. Take your small loss, go on to the next one. But if this thing does happen to explode, you're probably going to have a big gainer on your hands. So Air Test System is looking really good at the moment. Next one I want to talk about is NAOV. We're talking about this one in the Patreon, and I put this box on the chart earlier. Let me get rid of that. This is actually a beautiful looking chart pattern at the moment, but we were thinking about buying it in the Patreon, but I wanted to clear that level. And actually, let's go to the 15-minute chart so you can see what I was talking about when I put that on the chart. We're thinking about buying this stock if it was able to break out past this area right here, but it was not. It had an immediate reversal, so we did not enter this one, but nonetheless, it is still a beautiful looking chart pattern. These could just take a couple of days to end up breaking through, but NAOV is definitely looking really, really good on the daily chart. I don't like the way it is selling off today and ending up near the bottom of the day's range, but the day isn't over, so I mean, they could always step in and send this thing higher towards the close. But NAOV, if it doesn't break down below that moving average, I think this is one that's definitely worth keeping on your watch list. Next one I want to talk about is OSS. This one looks absolutely beautiful. Nice rounded bottom formation, jumped above that 8-period exponential moving average, has held it for the last several days, and now is making a very bullish candle. The only thing I don't like about this stock right now is there's only 159,000 shares traded on the day, and actually if I zoom in, you can see that is above the average. So this is a pretty thinly traded issue. You have to be very careful with these because they can be hard to get out sometimes. You know, there's usually a pretty decent size gap between the bid and the ask, so you have to take that into account when you consider taking a position in these type of stocks. But I mean, besides that, just an absolutely beautiful bullish looking formation in OSS. Next one I want to talk about is CPHI. CPHI making that same pattern as well, has broken above this resistance area and is holding this 8-period exponential moving average. This one has already traded 500,000 shares for the day, so that is enough for me. I did buy this once in the past, and I think I lost money on it, but nonetheless, I don't hold a grudge. This is still a beautiful looking pattern in CPHI, so this one is definitely worth keeping on your watch list. If this thing can continue to hold that 8-period exponential moving average, this one could be off to the races. Next one I want to talk about is STON. STON is still stuck in this beautiful bullish triangle consolidation. It looks poised to break above this resistance area right around, call it $2.85 to $3 a share. Has been fighting with it for weeks and weeks and hasn't been able to get above it, but it looks like it's probably going to be getting above it soon. And if it does, this could be an explosive breakout. So STON is definitely one worth keeping on your watch list and waiting for that potential breakout. Another one that I want to show you is one that is starting to bottom, and this one is Context Logic, or Wish. This doesn't look like very much when you look at it, even though it is finding some resistance at those major moving averages, which are to be expected. But once you see a stock moving down like this and then starts to go sideways, take a closer look at the intraday trend. So if we go to the 15-minute chart, we can definitely see that this thing is really starting to carve out a very nice bottom, and it's right now starting to put pressure on this resistance area. So this thing is like just a coiled up spring at the moment and is starting to put pressure on that resistance area, and I think a breakout could be imminent. Now, you don't want to be grabbing this and anticipating the breakout. I mean, you could, but you're just going to have a little bit more risk. I like to personally wait for it to break out most of the time because that tends to screen out false signals, but WISH is definitely looking good at the moment. Another one that looks similar is Open Door. If we look at Open Door, you can see this is the 15-minute chart, but if we go back to the daily chart real quick, we can see it's kind of making that same formation. Been in a downtrend, found a floor, and is starting to carve out a bottom. And then if we go back to that 15-minute chart, you can see that it's starting to carve out a very nice rounded bottom formation, and it's starting to put pressure on this resistance area as well. So this one is knocking on the door. No pun intended. But the next one I want to show you is FUBO. FUBO, looking at this 15-minute chart, you can see it's same exact pattern, putting pressure on this resistance area and just looks ready to break out. We go to the daily chart, we can see that same exact pattern. I mean, there's a lot of these happening in the market right now, but this is how bottoms are formed. You know, you got a little downtrend, kind of get that bottoming formation, they start putting pressure on that resistance area, and then boom, they'll pop into that uptrend. So you want to be capturing them right at that beginning stage so you can capture as much as the move as possible with the lowest amount of risk. Because if this thing end up breaking right back down, you take your small loss, you move on to the next one. And the last one that I want to show you is UAVS. This one making a very similar pattern as well. This is a lower price stock trading at about $4.29. This one has been stuck in a long downtrend for many months, but I think it looks like it could be carving out a bottom. So let's go to that 15-minute chart. Going to the 15-minute chart, you can see the very same formation. In fact, it looks like it's already breaking out. That's probably right there. It's a little subjective where these support and resistance areas are. You just want to look for the most touches, but it looks like it is right there. So if this thing can break above, call it 435 and hold, I think it could be ready for the next part of the uptrend, because this is a beautiful rounded bottom formation. Okay everyone, that is all I have for this video, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions or comments on any of these stocks, or if you have any other ones you want me to take a look at, please leave it down there in the comments section. I will get to them as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, and until next time, take care everybody.